Hi, are you thinking about making a move to Denver, Colorado, specifically Centennial, Colorado? Well, today I'm going to give you a tour of Centennial, Colorado. I'm going to get on my computer, jump in my computer actually. We're going to do a Zoom map tour so that you can see everything there is to know about all the dynamics of living in Centennial, Colorado. And if you stick around till the end, I'll even give you some information on specific housing market information as well as census information so that you can see if Centennial might be the perfect spot for your next move. If this is your first time to our channel, we're happy to have you. Make sure you tap below and subscribe, tap the bell and subscribe below so that you can be the first to know everything there is to know about the market conditions here in Denver, Colorado. My name is Michelle Wise and my partner Cheryl Crown, who's not here today. I do the Google Map tours. We are living in Denver. We also get calls and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make a move to Denver, Colorado. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All of our information's down below so that we can keep you updated on everything current here in the Denver metro area. While we are realtors here and we do live here, our main purpose of these videos is to give you a better understanding of what it would be like for you to actually make the move. And then we can obviously help you make that smooth and easy transition to Denver, Colorado. So stick around, let's get to it right now. I want to show you a little bit about where Centennial is. So if you look right here, you can see that Centennial, if I can get my map drawer to work, is this little red pocket right down here with very abnormal boundaries. It sits just south and east of Denver. The highway, which is I-25, kind of transposes it right there in the middle. So anywhere you live in Centennial along here, you'd have a pretty easy shot to get to I-25, which is our major north and south highway. That helps you there. And you can also see here that 470 kind of comes around the bottom side of it here. And so that's our kind of the big outskirts of what circles the city as far as the highway goes. And so part of that is paid as tolls and the other part is free. So anything here east of I-25 is most likely going to have a toll with it. Anything west is basically free. There are some HOV, carpool lanes, things of that nature, but you can drive west and get up here to the mountains real easy without having to pay any type of toll if you don't want to. So you'll see here that this kind of covers this section right here of the South Metro area, and it sits between Castle Rock down here to the south and, basically Denver. It's about halfway between the two. Centennial is a relatively newer town. It was first incorporated in 2001. So what it did is there were these little pockets of unincorporated Inglewood, Littleton, Aurora that weren't any part of any city. They were just unincorporated. So in an effort to avoid or reduce taxes, they decided to create this new city called Centennial. And originally it was supposed to have a cap on taxes and other interesting things like that. I don't think that that's continued, or I know it hasn't. There's still relatively low property taxes and so forth, but it's not quite the way they planned it out originally. So best laid plans, I guess, right? You'll find that it sits nicely situated between the plains of Colorado, which are over here, and the mountains. So depending on what you like to do as far as activities, of course, we are in Colorado, so much of what we do here revolves around outdoor living. You'll have great access to any of it. You can see here that there's this right here is Aurora Reservoir right here. You got Cherry Creek Reservoir right here, as well as Chatfield State Park over here. So if you're a boater into outdoor water activities, great location. That's one of the really nice things about South Metro area is you have a lot of bodies of water real close in case that's something that you like to do. If you live over here on the west side, you're a quick jaunt over to the mountains, ski slope, all the mountain activities. And, you're still not too far away from downtown Denver. So if you want to go into the city for a night, to a play, downtown Denver, one of the cultural centers, or a restaurant, you have easy access to that. And then you also have great access to the airport, which is this up here, this gray area up here. And I'm sorry, my map tool is not working the best today, but this area right here is the airport. So if airport travel is important to you, needing access to that, you can just jump on 470 right here, and you're probably, depending on where you're coming from, if you're over here on the east side, you can jump on real quick here and head up. You're going to be probably 20 minutes to get to the airport. Now, if you're over here on the western end of town, it's going to take you a little bit longer. You're going to have some traffic getting through Highlands Ranch area over here to get to 470. But once you get around on the outskirts over here, it opens up pretty nicely. So let's zoom in a little bit, and you can see a little better of what we have going on here in Centennial. So man, look at those city boundaries. All those red polka dots are basically the boundaries. So you have these little pockets in here that aren't part of Centennial. There are other cities. And so, like I said, it was a conglomeration of multiple unincorporated areas that combined to make Centennial. So a lot of times Centennial doesn't get a lot of name respect that maybe some other cities do, because it is newer, like I said, 2001, but a lot of the locals don't even know where the boundaries of Centennial are. You could be, over here in this part of town and think you're in Centennial, and you're really not, you're right near it, or you could be here in Centennial and think you're in Aurora. So it's a little confusing, but once you kind of get used to it and you know where you're going, it doesn't really make too much difference. You'll find a lot of the commercial aspects of Centennial fall on the west side of I-25 here. So there's definitely a lot of homes mixed in over here as well, but most of the commercial is going to fall over here. These portions of Centennial out here to the east of I-25 are much more residential in nature. Of course, you have your neighborhood grocery stores and Targets and things of that nature, but it's predominantly either a little bit more rural or full-fledged neighborhoods. One of the cool things about Centennial is that it has our IKEA here. So that's very much a bragging right of Centennial. Very proud that they have the IKEA here in the Denver area. Can't blame them for that. It's a great shopping area. But also along here, this I-25 area where IKEA is a good business district. So if you're looking to live near where you work, and you end up getting a position that says they're located in the Denver Tech Center, Centennial is a great option for you, because this little stretch right here of I-25 is called the Denver Tech Center. And if we go back, you'll see that this area right through here where my mouse is pointing is part of the Denver Tech Center, and much of the businesses are right here along this stretch. So great location as far as that goes. But again, if you're wanting to go, if you work in downtown, it's not really too far either, depending where you live in Centennial. Here on the western slope, you're much more proximate to the Denver downtown area than you might be over here in the eastern edge of it. So something to think about when you're looking for a house and where your place of employment might be, if that commute is important to you. Also here, you'll see that Centennial has a lot of park space. So all these green areas are large parks. I mean, you're talking, a good block sized park, and there's little pockets here too in and amongst. One of their big city center parks, if you will, is called Centennial Center Park. And that's a great location. They do a lot of various events there for the town. They have some festivals in the summer, Centennial Under the Stars, which is a laser light show. They do chalk art festival, and they rotate it because Centennial doesn't really have the official downtown historic district because its history is so short. So again, 2001, you're not going to have a whole lot of history. Parks and Rec and Centennial government does a really nice job of kind of stretching out their locations for their various activities. So over here, they'll at this park here at DeCovern Park, they'll have some activities here. The next festival will be here at City Center Park, Centennial Center Park, my apologies, and just other locations as well. So they do a really nice job of kind of spreading the wealth so that the entire city of Centennial has options that are near to them. Also, an amazing statistic, or something that Centennial can be super proud of, is that in 2015, they were ranked one of the best cities to live in. And so it was ranked by the USA Today's Top 50, and Centennial was ranked right up there. And it also was ranked recently as the 15th safest city to live in based on crime and all of that. So those are two very nice accolades that the city of Centennial has under their belt, and definitely something to be proud of for their residents and government. And you don't find that every day everywhere. So great place to live. One of the other things that they have is they have a very big rec district. So the way, again, it's spread out over, a big area. They have 2 rec districts that cover the boundaries. And with that, they have 4 different rec centers you can use, outdoor entertainment centers with 2 sheets of ice. So if you're into hockey or ice skating, they definitely have an option for your for the hockey player in you. They have a community center, sports complexes, 4 golf courses, 3 miniature golf courses, 50 tennis courts, a BMX bike track, batting cages, athletic fields, over 61 playgrounds, and over 100 miles of trails. That's really impressive. You can't get that everywhere you live, and that's one of the great things about living in Centennial. So back to one of the things that we talked about was no historic downtown feel, no downtown area. But like I said, again, they do have events spread throughout the city. One of the areas that they do have is South Glen, which is a old mall. It used to be a mall. It's called The Streets at South Glen. It was a old shopping mall. Well, they ended up kind of tearing that down, and they created what's called Streets of South Glen. It's a great little retail complex that has Whole Foods. It has a Macy's. It has H&M. It has all the different shopping needs you could possibly want. They have events at this location as well. There's a fire pit. There's coffee shops. There's some mom and pop restaurants. A lot of different things to do. They also have one of the only indoor ski facilities in the nation. So if you, kind of fun little fact, the mountains aren't very far. If you look at this here, mountains are not far at all, but indoor ski resort, indoor ski facility is membership, or you buy a pass and you can go take lessons to ski or snowboard. You can actually do some skiing or snowboard. I've not been in it. I need to go check it out because I'm not quite sure how that works. It's one of very few in the nation. The other thing to think about when you're looking at Centennial, Colorado, let me pull it back up here. There we go, is again, multiple activities, but the Denver Broncos headquarters are in Centennial, and they're over here in Dove Valley, and that's the name of the complex. And you can go watch practices, you can watch training camp. They have indoor facilities. You can actually rent out their indoor practice field for events. There's a lot of charity events that go on there. Really fun environment there. And the training camp practices are free to watch. So you just got to get there in time. And then of course, all the athletes stay after and do signatures. It's just a really fun community event. So that's something really positive also to think about. Now, when you're looking at housing in Centennial, this section over here on the west side of Centennial is going to be predominantly older homes. So a lot of Centennial is older homes because it was that undeveloped, unincorporated county space that Centennial took over. So you're going to have houses that were built from the 50s up to the early 2000s. Not saying there's not pockets of neighborhoods that might have gone up that have some space that are new or newer, but predominantly that's what you're going to have. And then as you work your way further east, you might get some of those newer communities. There's definitely a lot of homes over here east of Parker Road. This yellow line right here is Parker Road 2. It's a good thoroughfare to get through Centennial. And a lot of these homes over here were built probably in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And then out on the outskirts over here, closer to 470, you're going to have your newer neighborhoods. Now, again, this is not written in stone, but as kind of a rule of thumb, something good to think about. When I mentioned Parker Road right here, made me realize I hadn't mentioned Arapahoe Road. So Arapahoe Road runs kind of right through here, and it's a great arterial road to get from east or west to the other side of Centennial. You will have a lot of traffic and multiple stoplights, but that is probably the biggest, most used thoroughfare from east to west. And so about covers that. Let me jump into some housing information here for you real quick. So you'll see here, we're on Realtor.com. Currently, the median home price in Centennial is $626,000 with an average list per square foot price of $251. So that's fairly comparable to a lot of areas. You're more central, so that's a good thing. With considering how central you are in Denver, that's not a bad average price there. And you'll see they have any kind of house you could want. They have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 680 square foot. That's their smallest that's currently on the market today. If you're working on a small budget, that you can come in and get something for under $300,000. Or they have large homes like this one here, that's 3.5 million, 6 beds, 8 baths, 12,000 square feet. So that's a lot of square footage. You'll see that they have high-end starter homes and everything in between. The most affordable right now is considered this 2-bed, 1-bath apartment. It's not an apartment, it's a condo, sorry. And it's in Centennial. And obviously that 3.5 million is the most expensive currently. So here's an example of a recent sale, a good example of kind of what you get for less than that median list price. So this one here is 4 beds, 3 baths, almost 2,000 square feet, and it recently sold for $532,000. So, that's great to get a standalone single family home with 4 bedrooms for, under just over $500,000. So you'll have those options for sure here in Centennial. But you can see this house was probably built in the 90s. Nothing wrong with that at all. And the newer ones are here. You're going to pay a higher premium for those. Centennial is comprised of a couple different school districts, Cherry Creek Schools and Littleton Public Schools. Both are phenomenal. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Top rated school districts in the metro area. And one thing to think about that might be beneficial too when you're thinking about schools for this is that if you're in Cherry Creek has very large schools, very large high schools. So if schools are important and you want a smaller school setting for your child, Littleton might be a better, over here on this west side of town is where the Littleton Public Schools fall into Centennial. Little interesting factor that I didn't mention that I'm glad I thought of it on here. Now let's jump to some census information. So this is according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Very interesting statistics here. The population, this was in 2020, was just at 108,000 people. Income level in 2021, the average income is $108,000. So that's interesting how they're so close and they match right there. But that gives you an idea kind of where the census information falls. It's a highly educated city, 60% have a bachelor's degree or higher, and there's over 41,000 housing units in Centennial. So that's about it for today. I hope I was able to give you some good information and give you a better feel for what it would be like to live in Centennial, Colorado. Don't forget to like and subscribe and/or contact us down below. All of our information is there so that you can be the first to know about when we drop a new video. We try to drop videos 3 times a week on YouTube, and that way we cover a different city, different town, different topic about living in Denver. We try to be a great resource for you. So till next time, we'll see you then. Thanks for joining.